One of the greatest warriors in the history of India, Bajirao Ballal was the Peshwa or Prime Minister of the Maratha Emperor Chhatrapati Shahu. He is regarded as the most influential of the 9 Peshwas from the Bhat family. The 19-year-old Bajirao was appointed as the Peshwa by Chhatrapati Shahu in 1720. Over the next 20 years, Bajirao changed the political landscape in the subcontinent and established the Marathas as the dominant power in 18th century India. Here's a look at 9 notable battles which the Marathas won under the leadership of Bajirao. Battle of Colaba 1721. Alarmed by the naval power of the Marathas, the English and the Portuguese together attacked Colaba fort in 1721. Portuguese and English armies besieged the fort on land, while English ships bombarded the fort from sea. The Maratha Admiral Kanoji Angre sent urgent word to Chhatrapati Shahu of this attack, who sent an army under the newly appointed Peshwa Bajirao. While Maratha seamen neutralized the English ships, Bajirao and his men defeated the European troops on land. This was Bajirao's first major victory as Peshwa, that too against a European foe. Battle of Palkhed 1728. In 1727, the Nizam led an attack on Pune, a region under Maratha rule. Bajirao moved swiftly to attack the Nizam's territories of Burhanpur and Aurangabad. The Nizam was drawn away from Pune to protect his northern territories and left behind his artillery to match the Peshwa's speed. Bajirao trapped the Nizam and his army near Aurangabad at Palkhed, a place where there was little to no water or food. After a brief but bloody fight, the Nizam surrendered to the Peshwa. Battle of Amjera 1728. In 1728, Bajirao planned an invasion into the Mughal province of Malwa. The Maratha forces were divided into 2 armies, one led by Bajirao himself, while the other was led by his brother Chimnaji. At Amjera near Dhar, Chimnaji's army was met with the Mughal forces led by the Subedar of Malwa. The Mughal forces were crushed and the Subedar was killed. This victory resulted in the expansion of Maratha power in central India. Battle for Bundelkhand 1729. In the 1720s, the brave Raja Chhatrasal had carried on the fight against Mughal invaders and had carved out an independent kingdom in Bundelkhand. In 1728, the Mughals attacked Bundelkhand and a defeated Chhatrasal was forced to flee to Jaipur. He sent a letter to Bajirao informing him of his plight and requested his help. Bajirao, who was still in Malwa, quickly moved towards Bundelkhand in 1729, crushed the Mughal forces and restored Chhatrasal to the throne of Bundelkhand. This victory came mere months after the victory at Amjera. Battle of Janjira 1734-36. The Siddhis were Africans who came to India either as slaves or settled as traders and fishermen on the Konkan coast. The Siddhis had emerged as a naval power by the 15th century and had set up a sea fortress at Janjira. Along with Mughal help, the Siddhis had also captured Raigad Fort, the erstwhile capital of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. In 1734, the Siddhis attacked Maratha territories further inland. Bajirao and his brother Chimnaji launched military operations against the Siddhis, forcing them to give up and return to Janjira. Battle of Delhi 1737. Now that Bajirao had freed most of Gujarat, Malwa and Bundelkhand from Mughal rule, he marched to Delhi in 1737 for an imperial showdown. Mughal forces managed to defeat a small advance party of the Marathas and moved to Mathura to celebrate their win. Meanwhile, Bajirao, at the head of a larger Maratha war band, reached and invaded Delhi, while the scared Mughal emperor locked himself up in the Red Fort. Battle of Bhopal 1738. In 1737, when the Mughals besieged Delhi, Mughal ruler Muhammad Shah asked the Nizam of Hyderabad to help him defeat the Marathas. In January 1738, the Nizam arrived at Bhopal with 70,000 men, while his son commanded another army marching up from the south. But the 80,000-strong Maratha army under Bajirao attacked the Nizam at Bhopal with rockets and matchlocks, inflicting a crushing defeat. The Marathas also denied the Nizam Mughal reinforcements from Delhi. The Marathas won mainly because of Bajirao's swift tactics. Battle of Vasai 1739. The Maratha campaign against the Portuguese was a retaliation against the Goa Inquisition and the persecution and forced conversions of Hindus in the Portuguese-controlled territories. Bajirao sent his brother Chimnaji Appa to lead the Maratha forces against the Portuguese at Vasai fort. While the Maratha navy blockaded Vasai at sea, the Maratha army laid mines underneath the fort walls and exploded them. Faced with an imminent defeat, the Portuguese surrendered. The Maratha victory at Vasai ended Portuguese control over the northern Konkan coast. Battle of Aurangabad 1739. In 1739, Nasir Jung, a son of the Hyderabad Nizam, attacked the Peshwas territories. Hearing of this, Bajirao immediately moved against him. This scared Nasir Jung and he began to retreat, fearing a confrontation with the Peshwa. But Bajirao pursued him and defeated him near Aurangabad. This was the last of Bajirao's victories, as he would soon die 2 months later. Peshwa Bajirao remains one of India's most underrated generals and cavalry leaders, who remains unsung by India's historians even today.